fight week is dropping. This time, Conor Benn against Sebastian Formella. Massive fight for Conor Benn. How we doing, people? Higgs, what's happening? Hi, Mayor, how we doing? So, I just thought I'd come on, see what's happening. As I said, Saturday night, we're back in Wembley Arena. Big fight card. Conor Benn against Sebastian Formella. Massive step up for him. As you know, Formella just boxed Sean Porter, went the distance with him in a good fight. Fabio Wardley, big step up against Larty. Big heavyweight fight. Alan the Savage Babbage against Tom Little. I think we're a bit stuck, to be honest with you. Oh, here we go. Tough fight for Ben, yes. Dan C, what's happening? Chris Bouchin, how we doing? What did I think of Brook? I thought Kell boxed well for the first 3 rounds. I mean, look, Terence Crawford's a great fighter. I thought Kell got himself in great shape. Couldn't have done any more. Peter White, how you doing, mate? No, it is not box office. Jang Siddiq. When's Fury smacking AJ? Probably never, but I mean, when's he fighting? Come on, he was supposed to fight December 5th. What's going on? Are you going to give Dave Allen a job? He wants to be our matchmaker. I'm sure we'll work with Dave in the future. We can't just give him a job for the sake of giving him a job, but Dave is actually an intelligent man and knows his boxing. So, what are my lasting memories of Dave Allen? Do you know what? Probably, you know when he boxed Luis Ortiz? I mean, at the time, I didn't know him, I didn't promote him, I didn't manage him. We needed an opponent for Luis Ortiz, and Dave Allen volunteered. And he cut his tongue in that fight, right down the side. And I remember going back to the change room after the Luis Ortiz fight, and Dave came up to me and he was like, Can I have another fight, please? Can you get me another fight? And from there, I just looked at him, I thought, you're one tough bastard. So then we started looking after him, and we've had a great run. He's made a lot of money, got himself some houses, probably made a few mistakes, but I think with Dave, when I had a conversation with him on Friday or Saturday, and we were trying to find him an opponent for this weekend coming, he said to me, I just don't really want to fight anyone. And you know, he was going to fight someone, I won't mention a name, and he said, well, you know, he might punch me back. And I'm like, what, Dave? And Dave's brutally honest. And basically Dave turned around to me and said, I don't want to get punched anymore. I thought, it's probably not the best job to have if you don't want to get punched anymore. So he spoke to his sister, and I think he made the right decision. He didn't want that Babbage power. Is Babbage a gimmick? Okay. This Saturday, Alan Babbage fights Tom Little. Now, we all know Tom Little, don't mind me saying, he's a lazy bastard, and he's also a porky bastard as well. For this fight, he's had 8 weeks' notice. He's trained his nuts off, and he's got in really good shape. Tom Little can fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight with a Savage. I really do. Any fights for Callum Smith? Yeah, look, you know, it's been out there that we're discussing with Canelo Alvarez, the Callum Smith fight for December. Not done, but I'm hopeful we can get that made. Cardio Box, how we doing? Lee Witt, any more fights for the AJ undercard? Listen, this AJ card is unbelievable, right? We are the only people that are bringing you big time boxing. Obviously, you saw Fury, they couldn't get the money together for this fight. AJ is boxing. Akoli against Glowacki for the world title. Bakoli Kuzmin. Hughie Fury against Marius Wack. Still another 3 or 4 fights to go on December 12th. That is a monstrous card to end the year. out. Jess Washington. When's Ellie back out? Ellie Scotney. She was supposed to box this weekend. She pulled out because she was a little bit under the weather. No COVID. So unfortunately she missed her fight date, but we'll get her out as soon as possible. What happened with Lucas Brown against Fabio Wardley? In Australia, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you go and 2 weeks when you get back. And there was just basically no time to do it. Tyson Fury ringside for Joshua. Watch this space. What's the new date for Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell? Being discussed at the moment. Florian against Ben. I think that's a monstrous fight. I think that can sell out the O2. To be honest, and you know, he's got some mad fans, but he needs to fight someone. Florian. You know, Conor Benn is making a massive step up this Saturday against Formella. So let's see Marku step up a little bit. Adriana Sports, what's happening? Yes, Jacob's Rosado card is stacked. November 26th on DAZN. When's Dillian White fighting next and who? Alexander Povetkin. Looks like January the 30th. Thoughts on Eggington and Theo Payne? Good fight. Yeah, good fight. Do you expect the AJ fight to be a war or a chess match? I think it will be a chess match for the first couple of rounds, and then I think it's going to explode. And I expect a devastating knockout from Anthony Joshua. Billy Joe v Canelo 2021. Yes, Billy Joe's got to get past Martin Murray first, December the 4th. How many times a day do you say monstrous? Do I say that a lot? It's a monstrous fight. Yeah, I probably do actually. Eddie, go for a Jagba, the next best thing. I think he can fight. That wasn't very impressive in his last fight. Kazman, how's the book? The book is flying. Listen, only one shameless plug on this live. My book, Relentless. Oh, shit, I can't get it out. Yeah, anyway, my book, Relentless, #1 Sunday Times bestseller. What's going on with the Fury December fight? It's not happening. They couldn't get the money together for that fight. When's Chisora fighting next? I don't know. I spoke to David Hay about that. Chisora's definitely fighting again. Do you know what I'd like to see Chisora have? You know, he keeps being in these really tough fights where he's an underdog. I'd like to see Chisora like headline a Saturday night fight night in a really good heavyweight fight. Someone like Zilly Zhang against Chisora. I like it. Andrew Charlotte, save the Brentwood Centre, Eddie. Yes, Andrew, that is on the agenda. The Brentwood Centre, the new hub of Matchroom Sports. Watch this space. Tyson Fury must be frustrated. Yeah, I would think he's, you know, but at the end of the day, he's the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, and if he can't get the money together to give him what he... We all know that at the moment, it's difficult, and fighters are having to take less money on that top end. But they couldn't get anywhere close to the money he wants. Josh Warrington news, coming soon. We want, obviously, the fight with Kanzu, WBA champion, Ring Magazine, belt on the line as well. Any substance that AJ Zhang plans? Not really, but of course, a fight with AJ against Zhang in China at the Bird's Nest would be huge. So if Zhang keeps winning, that has potential. Who wins out of Dubois and Joyce? Good fight. I think you got to fancy Dubois early or Joyce to come on strong. I think if Joyce can get through the early rounds, I think he's got a good chance of the fight. Boazzi news, Boazzi will box in a big fight actually. We're just planning that now, early next year, probably February. Hi Edward, great show this weekend. That is correct, great show this weekend. Great show last weekend, to be honest with you. Numbers were fantastic for Katie Taylor, so I have to have a special shout out for people. What are your opinions on Loma and his future bouts? I think Loma or Loma? Loma, has to be Loma because it's Lomachenko, or is it Lomachenko? No, I say Loma. I say Loma, you say Loma. No. I think Loma should move down to super featherweight and featherweight. Surely Chisora v Andy Ruiz, good fight. Why couldn't you get Eggington v Cheeseman? Didn't Cheese want it? Sam should be on Sky, in my opinion, not Channel 5. We couldn't agree terms. I mean, Cheeseman was up for the fight, but wanted to wait till there's more money to maybe do it in front of crowds. This whole thing about, like, Sam should be on Sky, not Channel 5. I mean, obviously, all right, we are number one, obviously, but there are other great places to box. So that's a good opportunity for Sam Eggington. It's like when Sky didn't pick up Lomachenko against Lopez, it's like, it's a disgrace. Well, there are what about Channel 5? What about ITV? What about BT? Don't always put the blame on me, people. Jeez. If you could sign anyone from the GB setup, what's the crack with Joe Gallagher? Nothing. Just got a lot on my plate and want to get people out who want to get out and want to get moving. Florian Marku, Conor Benn, yes, but we want to see Florian Marku in some proper fights. He hasn't boxed anyone yet, so we're going to try and work with Florian Marku. Hopefully we can get that wrapped up, and then we can start moving towards fights like that. Why do you keep swerving Canelo v Smith, Eddie? Is it happening? I'm not swerving it. I did answer it earlier. We're in negotiations for Canelo against Callum Smith. We hope to get it over the line. There's still a long way to go, but I guess we have to do it this week if we're going to do it. Mr. Sam Jones, what's happening? Thoughts on Dave Allen? Discussed this earlier. I think he's made the right decision. I don't think he wants to fight anymore. And if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to get in there and take punches and battle it out, then it's time to move on, and that's what he did. When's Fitzy back? Good news on Scott Fitzgerald, back in the gym. You probably won't see him this year. You'll see him very, very early next year, and then we want to make the Anthony Fowler fight straight off the bat. Big John, what's happening? Romford ball out soon. Sam Jones on the case, getting everything in order with the board. Billy Joe Saunders versus Caleb Plant, great fight. Do you think Brook should fight Khan or call it a day? To be honest, I don't think that, like for years and years and years, I tried to make Kell Brook against Amir Khan. And it was, that fight was so big at one stage, so big. But we just couldn't agree terms. And now, I mean, you tell me, do you want to see Kell Brook against Amir Khan? I don't think you'll see Kell Brook in the ring again, to be honest with you.